Alright, hello everyone. I'm gonna get this going because I saw the last player was connecting, at least theoretically. You know, says one connecting, so here we go. Anyway, hope you guys are all having a good day. You guys are here to see Div 1 match. This be week 4, I believe, between Gnarcolepsy Lite and Yggdrasil. And at this point, yeah, it still says one connecting. Anyway, Narcolepsy's been chomping at the bit here to get going. Obviously, their roster at the moment is Trademark, and Rafiki is Simba, Inzo, Iron Fist, Blink, and Sweetiebot. And let's see, obviously, since this is a week 4 match, you know, we're having Marine South spawn, and still waiting on the last person from Yig to join up, but we've got, so for Skogsmu, Izzo, I believe that's Razgul, Raz, Semi-Handy, and Stobies? Stobies? However the heck his name is said, I am not entirely sure. Anyway, chirp, says the bird. This is a daytime match. You know, there'll be a small chirping device behind me, occasionally making noise, hopefully not horribly often. Let's see here. I don't know whether these guys are now saying like they want an actual ref rather than, you know, me sitting here casting. Just having a moment here. Sorry about the delay here. Alright, so they're just being slightly confused, it sounds like. Anyway, obviously this is the second time I think that this match has, you know, been played or attempted to be played. So the first time it was scheduled to be basically right after the patch was released, so there was total disaster. I was actually supposed to merc com during that one, and it didn't happen. Um, there was some sort of issue with like fades at the time, where I think if you spawned as a fade, you would, you know, hatch out of the egg and be in third person or something crazy like that. Alright, who is that? Is that he also on the roster there? I'm assuming that's their third person Joe's? However the heck his name is said. I'm assuming, because they're kinda here. Or are they the ref? They might be the ref. I'm not sure here. Either way, they're still short a person if that's, you know, actually a ref, which I'm alt tabbing to check real quick, because they didn't have them in the... Come on, do stuff, website. Not on the list. So who is that? So... Ay ay ay. Anyway, so this is obviously not gonna be happening as quickly as I had initially thought if he's not actually playing. 'Cause he's not a... Ay ay ay. So much for that. I thought that we were going to be going, but Apparently not. Ay ay ay. Anyway, now that this chaos, this is like seems to be a match that is just never going to go smoothly. At least now, theoretically, we are going to actually be getting the sixth person now instead of the random dude who showed up and was making silly comments, where I'd been hoping that he was going to be the sixth. But that's what I get for trusting that they'd have the sixth person showing up pretty soon. Anyway, this is going to be Marine South spawn, so kind of where it is in pregame, and this time around, assuming everything's still set up correctly. If not, I believe it always seems like there's a much higher chance of getting the Marines on the south spawn than the aliens on the south spawn. So even if it's not set up correctly, I think it should be pretty much okay for us to get this rolling here. Um. Anyway. All right. So looks like we finally have the sixth, and it looks like it'll be a merc there, which would be inmate. Finally, we have six. Okay. Alright, so now that we have everybody, we just need to wait for these guys to ready up. Obviously, Narcolepsy's been ready for like a billion years. Oh, and then Izzo goes into the ready room. What's going on here? We have one more person connecting. Oh, is that guy again? Because that would be annoying. I think my players list is messed up slightly. Or maybe they're trading somebody in, because I know Carnage is also on their team. So I don't know whether that means the inmate is actually not going to be playing, or if they're swapping out Izzo, or what. I mean, this is just complete chaos. Alright, it looks like Izzo was leaving, so they're swapping him out, and Carnage will be playing. So at this point, it looks like we're gonna have two Americans on the what had previously been thought of as a European team, which would be Yggdrasil. So theoretically, we may actually be getting this match finally going with only 5 minutes left on the countdown clock. And this is after they already spent like quite a while sitting in another server before this one too. I mean, we swapped servers about 4 times because it seemed like there was some sort of like uh, crazy routing issue maybe, because it sounded like they were having connection issues trying to get to some of the the closer to being East Coast servers, because this one I believe is a central one. Yeah, it's central. It's not even like the NSL East servers, which, you get slightly better ping. They aren't like exactly on the East Coast, because I don't know whether there just aren't servers available there, but um, theoretically now we have everybody on the server. And theoretically, we could actually get going soon. I mean, we have 4 minutes. If they don't get this whole ball rolling in 4 minutes, then it's just like throw hands up in air and give up, because then it will be a forfeit win for Narcolepsy. But since they have everybody in the server, I don't think we'll see that happen unless, Carnage loaded into the server and then decided to I don't know, walk to the grocery store or something. I don't know. But yeah, hopefully we'll be seeing this soon, and I'm curious to see how this will go. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure at this point Narcolepsy is probably totally pissed off because, well, they were expecting this to start probably about 30 minutes ago, just given the add a little bit of time in there for normally how long stuff takes to get going. And okay, we do have the sixth person joined up finally. So final roster for Yggdrasil: Carnage. We have Inmate from HBZ Merking, Skogsmill, Raz, Semi Handy, and Stobies. So theoretically, we are ready to go here as soon as humanly possible. They have 3 minutes left to sort things out and actually get going here. But okay, we are finally going to see this going, so we're going to go into round one here on Tram. assuming spawns are correct, and we aren't going to re a billion times, but... Alright, finally, onward to round 1 here on Tram between Gnarcolepsy and Yggdrasil. Oh, or spawns can be broken. Can I... Okay, I can't do it here from whatever the heck mode. Anyway, yeah, it is supposed to be Marine South spawn, so apparently it's not set up right. Oh my god, is this thing set up wrong? Really, RNG? I thought we had already fixed this. Okay, if it happens again, I'm going to freaking ask Zeph or somebody to tell me how to fix this. All right, onward to battle. All right. So now that we're finally going here, we're seeing Gnarcolepsy just heading on out of base. Arm slab drop, nothing too crazy there. Giant herd of skulks heading towards hub. Let's have to see what happens here, whether they end up... I mean, whoa, there's going to be a lot going in that vent. I'm pretty sure that Blink heard them. Obviously, one came out, that'd be Rascal running into SweetieBot, who's backing up into the hallway. He's going to maybe pick off Raz, but here come the other 3 skulks, and it's just Blink there. He's chipping all of them. He actually takes down 2 there, and Stobies is the only one still alive. Simba's out of the chair. But considering they just wiped out that initial push, that is going to give Gnarcolepsy a lot of freedom to sort of roam around the map and do stuff. Well, because, yeah, you kind of have to wait for everybody to respawn. Trademark's going to pop through the door there and get pounced on by Carnage, who's going to just totally destroy him. He did get a lot of chip into Carnage, though, so if he moves in to try and poke at Iron Fist over here in Repair Room, there's pretty much a good chance there that Iron Fist will win that engagement, even if he is parasited. However, here comes Rascal moving in from Ore. Alright, so we got an Inzo in the battle as well. And Blink coming in from Hub, so 3v3 here over in repairs. Carnage moving in first, he's lowest health, he gets taken down, they end up taking out Inzo. And now it's down to Iron Fist versus Inmate, who's hiding behind the pillar over by the power node. It looks like he's actually going to get flanked, maybe, by Stobies as well. And there goes the repair blueprint, I suppose, because it hadn't even been capped. I mean, so far there's been a lot of little engagements going on, but not too hard as far as capping goes for either team. You can see Inzo just hanging out here in Hub. There's Inmate and actually the real more entertainment going over here in ET, where SweetieBot just got taken out. He did take out one of the skulks that was attacking him, but Raz is still alive, and Trademark is trying to shoot at him, but he's hiding behind the pillar. So they're just going to have a little bit of a standoff there, and it looks like Raz is going to back out of the room. I think Inmate was getting shot at by somebody, probably one of these 2, or if there was a third that ended up keeling over dead. And that's who was shooting at him. Looks like they're grouping up again to try and clear out Trademark, who's all by himself. Iron Fist not quite getting around the corner, but here come the pack of skulks again. 2 of them are pretty chipped. Now it looks like 3 are... Well, pretty much everybody has some damage on them. None of those skulks have armor. We're going to see at least 2 of them rotating down to observation to try and work on that RT. It is down to... It's going to end up pretty much getting destroyed unless Trademark is able to win this engagement very promptly, but he wasn't. So that RT is toast, even though Iron Fist is going to run over that way. I mean, they lost the right side res now, however, they did cap on the left. But they didn't cap, if you notice, they didn't cap over in Repair and in Ore. They're still left open. I mean, at a certain point, this will also, by capping Warehouse, slow down the the alien expansion across the north side of the map. And with whoever that is, that'd be SweetieBot hanging out down there in the little hallway outside of ET. That'll also keep them from expanding south. So really, some pretty good placement as far as that goes, and we're seeing the engagement up here. Semi's out of the hive. He's going over. He gets a couple of good kills there on Inzo and Blink, clearing that up. But you know, Warehouse is still capped, so that is kind of a problematic thing for them, for Ygg's being able to go and try and get some more RTs. They're sitting at 3. So not too horrible. You can see that Raz is up as a lurk, and it looks like Skunk's Mule also up as a lurk elsewhere. But they got weapons 1. They actually went for weapons 1 first, and now they're going for armor 1 as well. I mean, I'd assume that that weapons one definitely would help out with some of these initial engagements, but all things considered, as long as you end up with both of those, you know, up in the same sort of time frame, it does kind of reach a sort of equal point. I don't know, my words are escaping me right now. I might be saying Raz diving in on them, but might end up going down before he... Oh my gosh, he barely makes it into the vent there with 7% HP. He started trying, it looks like trying to escape through ET, except for there was kind of Blink hiding over there. Flanking from that side, and so he got pretty lucky there that he was able to get out of the line of sight before, you know, Marine was able to pick him off. All right, so we're seeing, you know, stuff being capped. It looks like at this point we do really have the the left side of the map pretty well capped. Trying to figure out where this lurk is going. Trademark accidentally shoots his friend while trying to kill Stobies. We have a lurk just hanging out in base. Obviously the spawner can see him. So I'm not sure what he's doing. I thought he was gonna like actually do something. It looks like he was just kind of scouting around as a lurk, which is not something you really want to do. I mean, at least at this point of the game, I mean, if you have that lurk up, you're supposed to be using it to do stuff. I mean, that's one of the... almost taking out Iron Fist there. Looks like Semi's going to be able to pick off Iron Fist and then going to go after Sweetie Bot, who's just on his pistol, and since Semi still has armor, that pistol's not going to do the greatest damage. Okay, we're seeing a group going into the base here. Simba jumps out. Over here comes the lurk. And we're seeing Skugsmoke getting melted there. He just kind of like glided on in. They still only have 1 IP, so that is kind of problematic. We have everybody dead but Blink. And that IP may end up going down here. Where's Blink and Trademark? Or you see Trademark, I believe, running all the way back, but here's the thing, they're gonna lose the arms lap potentially, and it's all left to Trademark. He needs to like scare the heck out of these aliens so they go away, but at this point it looks like it's gonna be GG because just nobody was in position to try and clear this and possibly didn't respond fast enough. But here come the other skulls as well. There's nobody to give him meds. He's out of the arms lab, and it's just gonna be GG for round 1 here. So that, yeah, they did have the lurk scouting on the left side of the map, but if they didn't have that opportunity there for the base rush, that's just a bunch of wasted lurk time. I mean, ideally, probably better to have a skulk do that so the lurk can go and, you know, kill people and all that nonsense, but hey, it worked out for them this time. Oops, hitting the wrong buttons. Alright, so round 1, very quick win for Yggdrasil. Not exactly one that dragged the game into, somebody's having issues there. Alright. I wonder why that happened with the team. I mean, I've seen it happen before where like there's enough people from one team where it thinks that it's like, you know, a Nations Cup team or something. But obviously it was still showing Yggdrasil at the top, so I'm not quite sure what was going on there. Either way, they're gonna just go zooming right into round 2 here. No waiting between them. Obviously we are gonna have to wait for Marine South spawn again, but hopefully, you know, RNG is on our side and we'll make it appear that way. We had a little bit more of a delay. I'd ask what the heck the command would be to make it. Oh, of course not. Of course not. I'd ask what the command would be to make it so it's forced those spawns, but honestly I don't know right now. I'm assuming there is one, but I just don't know what it is. I'm just a caster, I'm not a referee. What am I supposed to know all these things? I don't know all these secret alien commands. Well, not alien. But not alien in the sense of NS2, but alien as in like strange extraterrestrial things. Alright, nope. Really, game. Really. Obviously, since this is a, you know, week 4 match, you know, for a while they did have it set up so that way you would get the 4 spawns, but, you know, one of the, I don't remember whether it's week 8? It's probably week 8. Is, you know, tram any spawn. So, I think this is probably the last week 4 match. Alright, onward to battle. So we did see a lot of just general overextension there from Gnarcolepsy. Let's have to see if Yggdrasil does the same thing, but it looks like they're just going to power build an armory and probably put down some... Yep, there go the mines. So they aren't going to allow that to happen to them. Obviously, Gnarcolepsy taking, not going any gorge on this map. They're just going to set up and get their Crag Hive going and see what happens. Raz actually going through the vent instead of capping. Alright, they got Skugsmoke there as well. two actually pushing forward. Carnage and Stovey's moving up, or at least Carnage is moving forward to platform. Didn't get that RT really built, and that Drifter may end up taking a little bit of damage there, but it looks like it escaped without injury. Trademark and Enzo moving in to come and clear him, because obviously that is their one natural that they do have built. Alright, and it's still Sisted even too, so that's definitely good for them. They don't have to wait on that. Or actually, I just heard a Syst explode. I don't know whether the Syst system is having issues or what. I know that thing can be kind of finicky. Seeing a nice little shooting gallery down through the little hallway there, but a bunch of skulks set up. Okay, we got some mines on the IP. I did want to see what happened there, and they actually went for a second IP as well. They don't really need it at this point, quite obviously. I mean, they're close enough to base that it's like, well, you could just walk back there and no problem at all. Blink moving in, taking out Carnage. And they're doing a pretty good job at just holding Yggdrasil kind of in the south part of the map, right across the like little, like right there, so at least so far. They are finally going to get their fourth Artia, but at this point it seems like Gnarcolepsy really hasn't done much as far as, you know, expanding goes. I mean, Simba's in the hive, so it's not like he's been out too much. He only has one res. So it's just a matter of they need to start okay, I do see the Sys chain now heading over towards Warehouse. None over here in Mez quite yet. See Blink over there going after Skogsmull, taking him down. Inmate's still alive in there. He's probably going to end up taking out Blink. Looks like Simba's out of the hive. He's going to come over to help. He's going to end up probably eating most of those bullets, and then Blink is going to be able to clean that up. Enzo's just waiting around to try and pounce on Skogsmull when he comes out to try and save the RT. So definitely nice setup there by Enzo. Carnage getting parasited. Inmate will probably be able to clean. Nope! Oh! Ends up getting the drop on him there. Well, not necessarily drop, but either way, he took out Enzo, or Enzo took him out really quickly. Alright, so the Marine Res has kind of not been off to the greatest start. It's already been kind of cleared at this point. At least the lower stuff. We see that Raz somehow escaped the alien blockade that they'd set up across this lower part of the map. Looks like Stovy's is going to be able to get through as well. Sweetiebot's just kind of waiting around. He does a lot of the like waiting around, waiting for the opportune moment kind of thing, and it looks like he's probably going to end up going and just biting that back res. Stovy's just, he's going to be, yep, he's going to be easy to clear up over there. Inmate versus Iron Fist over here in Hub. Carnage is also split around the wall, so obviously if they'd ended up in the same sort of area, it would have been a lot easier for them to try and win some engagements. But this time we're seeing two different fights going on in pretty much two different sections of the room. Inmate ends up getting taken down over there because he was versus two skulks and had kind of backed himself into a corner at that point. Yeah, backing away from the skulks generally a good thing because it means that you're getting more space to be able to take them down. But there's that whole fact that if you back too far, you're going to either back yourself into a corner so you are pretty much trapped, or you're probably going to back into another skulk. I mean, alright, we're going to see Trademark going down right after that RT had finally started being built, and he's going to try and work on cleaning up that RT before anybody has a chance to do anything about it. Raz is running in. Enzo now taking up the biting RT duties in the room there. See Blink up as alert. And they are going to get that RT down. That'll put... you know, it's pretty much locking him in at 2 RTs. We're seeing a fight going on here up at Mezzanine. It has been sisted, nothing there yet. They're gonna almost kill the Drifter, which is surviving with all of 6% HP. Carnage taking a lot of spikes there from Iron Fist, and he may end up going, yep, he's just gonna get spiked to death. Inmate all alone now. Here comes the other lurk. A little bit of a, I think that was a missed bite from Blank, but getting some spike damage. Iron Fist has to hide because obviously he's lost most of his health. Stoby's heading up towards platform. He's going to work on the Sys chain. But, you know, it's already been built across, over towards Warehouse. That's not that big of a deal. Just looking at so far what's going on. I mean, they have 3 RTs with 2 more dropped for Yggdrasil. So they're pretty much, they've placed the RTs, but where's the other one being built? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So they've capped from their base over to ET, but the one in ET is going to go down here, even though Inmate and Raz are going to run into the room. That RT is toast. Trademark may end up taking out Inmate, depending on what happens here. He ran up and was using the beams in the ceiling to be able to take him out, and Raz was split enough around the like pillar here that it was going to make it kind of hard. They're just gonna sit here, have a little standoff. I want to go look at what's going on the other side of the room because I see both the lurks are taking engagement over there. But neither of them are particularly hurt, so we're just watching them play Ring Around the Rosie at the moment. Alright, and Razgul ends up winning, finally. Stovey's here in Hub, getting swarmed by both lurks and a Skulk. Simba out of the hive. They're gonna head over and kill Carnage next. You know, using the little door frame there, so that way they could just, you know, magically appear rather than coming from a bajillion miles away. Alright, so we had Skogsma over there in Hub, but we got Raz and Imnate coming from ET. I mean, they have 4 aliens right here in the middle. They just need to pick off Skogsmule as they do, and then probably get the lurks out, because both of them are without armor. But the problem is that, okay, they're gonna maybe clean this up. They do have Stobies in the way, because he's backed up. Alright, never mind. Both the lurks are free to go and go back to heal, because that's something they probably pretty much need at this point. I mean, they don't want to lose the lurks yet. I mean, sure. Okay, power down and repairs. So that'll secure warehouse pretty well for them later. But you still don't want to lose the lurks yet. I mean, they're up to 31 res, so fades aren't too far away. But they're definitely making sure to try and keep Yggdrasil just not, you know, happening. Alright, so Armor 1 finally being completed. That is kind of the problem with going mines first, is it takes forever for you to finally be able to get your initial upgrades up, unless you, especially with that second IP. I think that second IP, though potentially a good idea, not necessarily the best in this map. It is, at least for the naturals and stuff, which is, as you can see, where they ended up being the most. You don't end up, like, you end up in your naturals a lot, because you end up running back. Just the second IP, that's 20 res, so that could have been the start of their arms lab then, or the start of their upgrades. I don't really want to do the math on it right now, but the mines for sure, they know that they base rush. And if they know they have problems with lane blocking, having those mines is definitely a good idea to sort of prevent that from happening to them. Iron Fist barely getting out there. There's the Crag in warehouse. Blink, what is he doing? He just like stops and is like trying to bite Carnage. So, throwing away a lurk there. But Iron Fist now healed up, he's gonna go and kill Carnage. So it looks like Blink really wanted to get that kill right there, and just, that was silly. Yeah, lol Blink. And we just see Iron Fist go down as well, and there's still, what? Let's see, it looks like we're seeing fades appearing right now. Yep, there's a fade, there's a fade. They don't have Metabolize up yet, I'm assuming we'll see that fairly soon. They do have the biomass for that. So they'll just have to be careful in these first initial engagements until the research is done. They have 66 res, so it's not like they're even short on res at the moment. They just need to, like, you know... Okay, Simbo's out of the hive, so that'd be perfect. So I'd assume as soon as he gets back in the hive, we're going to see Metabolize started. We're going to see... Let's see, what's res is he at? Looks like we're going to see a RT being dropped there. He's at 16 res, so he could go Gorge, drop a couple tunnels, and just set it up between those two hives. That is something that is, you know, an advantage with having the commanders being out of the hive, is you can have them go Gorge and set up the tunnels, so you can have the good, like, ability to cross the map very quickly without using a ton of energy for any of your life forms. Alright, Inmate and Skogsmule over there in the darkened red room there of ET. Seeming pretty hesitant of trying to get out of there. Of course, with Blink having regen up in that vent, they obviously know he's there. The question is, do they know Sweetie Bot's there as well? At this point, shooting a small little box on a wall is pretty easy, so that'll probably at least keep the Skulks pinned. Though that bone wall would have been really nice to split them. The only problem there is that the Fades decided to go after Stobies instead. So with Trademark and Inzo now heading back over in that direction, we'll have to see if they're able to split these guys again. It does have a little bit of that cooldown time for the Bone Wall, and they're on Infestation at the moment. Just that must be like perfectly set up to be the right distance there. The Bone Wall there for a moment, eating some of the bullets that they were trying to pump into that Crag, and just enough time for the Fades to be able to come in and clean out first one Marine, then the other. So weapons went finally going up, and we do see shotguns on the field, so that'll help a bit with the fades. I mean, but they really aren't quite as effective until you get the weapons one up, unless you really land all those nice meat shots. Carnage barely staying alive in there, but there's a bunch of skulks. He's having Blink flank him, so that's gonna be a shotgun down already. There's nobody close enough to be able to get that. This is one of the other things. You have a shotgun, wait for a friend. We're gonna see Iron Fist versus Inmate over here. Iron Fist ends up taking him out. Or no, sorry, that was Trademark that ends up taking him out. Iron Fist taking a good deal of the shotgun pellets, but at this point, it's just going to be a struggle to try and hold on to the P-res that they have. Like, you know, being able to recap the shotguns, which are probably both dead by this point. Looks like they're going to try and recap over in ET, but it's just going to be this giant struggle. They can't med right now, and that probably means that they probably shouldn't have the shotguns. Or if they have the shotguns, they shouldn't be pushing up into a hallway alone. I mean, Inmate's doing a fairly good job at staying relatively safe, but we know that we've already seen at least 2 shotguns go down. Pseudobot ends up getting taken out by Inmate. We're seeing Carnage and Skogsmule pushing forward into platform, and I don't know why my bird is yelling. Alright, so they finally have 2 RTs again. We're seeing 2 groups of 2 just kind of hanging out. It looks like they've decided to go after the platform one, all the Gnarcolepsy grouping up here. Carnage is going to be the first one down, then so that's going to be a pretty easy cleanup there. Lurk can go Lurk again. Heck, Simba can go Lurk as well. He's been out of the hive quite a bit, which is probably part of the reason why that like some of the stuff hasn't been as necessarily as prompt, because I mean he has 20 res. I mean that's a fair amount of time out of the hive. Oh, the graphs. Sure, I'll show the graphs. There hasn't been all that much interesting stuff going on though. Aliens have pretty much held onto their res. Marines not so much. Another shotgun down. I'd be much more interested. Alright, they're just gonna GG it at this point. They do not have the ability to take down these fades. They needed the... I think that second IP possibly put enough of a dent in their initial starting res that it's just not great. Alright, so the next map will be... oh gosh, what is it? Is it Descent? It's Descent, isn't it? It is Descent. Okay. I guess I could have just changed the map, but... Alright, they're asking for an EU server potentially. Alright, so it looks like we're going to be swapping servers again. But at least this time, hopefully, theoretically, we will not have the crazy shenanigans that went on before I started the cast where we swapped servers like 6 times. So I'm just going to let... I don't know whether they're going to find a server now. I don't know whether I should disconnect now or what. But yeah, I think that the mines plus the IPs... I seem to recall doing that once, and it ended up fairly similarly. Either if you have the mines, I mean the mines are used there defensively. You're using them to make sure that you have enough time to come back and defend your base, because either a skulk explodes so they have one less person in the room, or possibly multiple skulks exploding so there are less people in the room. Or you have the second IP because you're being really aggressive, and you know then you don't have to worry that much because there are... Okay, so what's going on here? Okay, where are we going? So they're over there. Okay, I was still in here. Tweet, tweet, tweet. My bird shall fill the time there. We'll see if we're going to be swapping to a Euro server. It sounds like we probably will, especially since this is a central one. I mean, these are in what, Dallas? So let's find us an NSL server of some variety. say. Yeah, we could go to check NS2 stats for spoilers. Only on some servers. Let's see, is everybody still in here? Let's check the server browser. I don't have any of the ones that are NS2 East. I don't know what the good London. I don't know what the good Euro servers are. So I'm just gonna let them figure it out, maybe. I have no idea what the good Euro servers are. Alright, looks like we're going to Euro to that one. Anyway, as I was saying before I got before I got distracted by server crud. Oh, obviously it's on the wrong map, but whatever. So it goes. You can only check NS2 stats for certain servers. I'm pretty sure that it's not on the actual most of the NSL servers, but it is on freaking what's it? The servers that Kane. Okay, we're switching servers again. So I just chaos. Okay, we have officially switched servers twice. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that this time around, I'm just gonna hit F1 in case they already did a change map, but it doesn't look like yet. Anyway. What was I saying? Nope, 222 ping. Is he really gonna be that way? Trademark plus. It sounds like we may end up having more issues here. Alright, so this is gonna be interesting. It looks like we may end up... I don't know what's gonna happen here. More ping issues. It looks like Trademark might be having ping issues, so I'm assuming that means that they're gonna have to swap somebody out. Unless he's gonna play again, he just reopened NS2, so maybe he's just restarting the game. Looks like we're gonna swap servers though, so we'll see how this ends up going. My bird is just sitting there making cute noises, sitting there like a little fluff butt. Anyway. So, Descent. Huge map. Kind of obnoxious. Lots of base rush vents that nobody but aliens like. I'm assuming horizontal spawns, we'd end up seeing mines. And I don't know whether we'd end up seeing a second IP going with those mines again or what, but we'll see what happens here. Alright, so is Trademark coming back? Let's see. I don't know, we'll find out. So we got people joining up. We have still a couple more connecting. We'll just give it a moment here while we wait for everybody to join up. I mean, obviously, with the central server, it's gonna, this is gonna be slightly more obnoxious for any players as far as the ping goes. But I think that Simba and I are probably the ones with the highest ping, because I think... Well, I don't know, there might be somebody else that also has that is also, on the western side of the North American continent, but I don't know where the rest of the people who are NA players live. I think Simba's from California as well, I'm not sure, whatever. Who was that? Alright, that's Blink. Blink changed his name. Alright, so all of Yggdrasil has already joined up. They haven't readied up yet, obviously Semi's still floating around somewhere. Where is he? He's not in the hive. He's not in the hive, so where is he? Am I just blind? Okay, he's just running around. So, obviously Descent. Giant map. A lot of people don't like it, other people do like it. The spawns as they are probably will mean that somebody will get mines, aka whoever's playing Marines at the time will probably end up getting mines. Because these vents are kind of brutal. I mean, even if you swap the two spawns around, it's still, this one especially ends up, I seem to recall seeing people go through that both as Marines and Alien trying to get to the enemy base. And it's just kind of, I don't know, that's one of the things that potentially, if they're gonna edit the map anymore, would be to go and maybe try other variants for the vents, but I think that even some were messed with, or at least concepts were done by one of the, is it Barcode or KMG? I can't remember which one of them was the one that ended up going and making some like alternate variants for the vents. But, you know, to basically just make it so there weren't giant obnoxious vents that, you know, would skip a huge chunk of the map that aliens could go through and attack Marine base. But it looks like we're going to just go into round, oops. Go into round, whatever this is. There we go. Round 3. Here on Descent between Gnarcolepsy, Lite, and Yggdrasil. Maybe? Oh, no, what did they do? Come on, guys. 3 seconds canceled. 3-second cancel. Alright. Alright, so Trademark was able to get his ping to not be stupid or whatever. Yeah, Simba's definitely alt-tabbed, it looks like. But Carnage might be too. I mean, we got a couple people here with really stupidly high ping, which looks more in the, like, alt-tabbed range. What is going on? Oh. Alright, so we'll just have to wait for Simba to get back and anybody else who happens to be, you know, away from their keyboards at the moment. And then we'll maybe get into round 3 here. At least as far as that first round being really stupidly short, at least compared to some of the other rounds, it should be pretty easy for them to end reasonably on time. You know, obviously these games are generally given about a 2-hour block. You're assuming that rounds are about, you know, half an hour give or take. Plus, you know, a little bit of you know, probably a little bit shorter, probably somewhere between the 20 and 30-minute range. You know, a few minutes here and there for map changes and all that nonsense. But it looks like we are maybe finally have everybody here, so we're gonna move into round 3 finally for real this time, maybe. Between Gnarcolepsy, Lite, and Yggdrasil. Alright, so horizontal spawns. No gorge for the aliens, but we do have an armory being built here, so that'll mean mines. As is pretty much the thing there. Instantly being built, instantly being researched. And that'll give the aliens plenty of time to go and set up wherever the heck they feel like it. Obviously they're you know, setting up the sys chains to both the naturals. Not gonna lock down either one, you know, instantaneously or anything like that, it looks like. Oh gosh, who changed their name? That's Blink. That would be Blink right there. So Blink getting the first kill right there, I believe that was Sweetbot taking down another. Be Izzo is finally playing for them again, so it looks like Inmate has gone elsewhere since Izzo's ping or routing issues or whatever are obviously not an issue on Euro servers. Carnage is kind of pinched there between Sweetbot and Inzo, however it isn't really much of an issue. I mean, he is just a skulk, so not much of a problem there. We have Blink up here, standing on the tech point, trying to get enough line of sight to be able to take out either of the skulks. He didn't end up doing that, obviously. Now there's going to be 3 skulks sitting over here in Plaza versus poor Iron Fist, who's all by himself and parasited, so he's going to end up just getting destroyed. I mean, I think he got, what, maybe 2 bullets out of his gun there? Carnage working on the RT down there in Gravity. Meanwhile, we got Trademark trying to push in there, but just the parasites are going to just totally destroy them. because it gives them that little bit of opportunity to be able to move in and try and, you know, do some work there. Izzo hiding in the vent, Sweetie Bot trying to figure out what the heck to do there, make sure that he's not going to get, you know, jumped on. However, that's going to mean that they're going to lose gravity, and I think at this point they're pretty much saying, it looks like, to just like give up on trying to hold that RT, and they're just going to move forward and try and slow down the alien expansion, I'm assuming. Because, you know, trying to repeatedly save your naturals just means that you're staying back on your naturals the entire time. It doesn't mean that you're going to be able to go up and expand. You aren't going to be able to go and, you know, slow down the rest of the expansion. I'm not quite sure why they finished the power, considering they just continued on forward. Actually, these two dudes are totally trapped. Okay, they're gonna. Here comes Razgul. Here comes Carnage. Blink staying alive while he is probably almost able to reload there, but all things considered, he's dead. Iron Fist finally able to go and recap in gravity. Did put a mine down there, or at least theoretically he did. Maybe it was somebody else. Either way, they put a mine down to help slow that down, slow down the ability for the aliens to just destroy stuff. However, that silly built power node is going to mean that they can't cap Drone Bay really all that quickly. And obviously, though there is one welder on the field, that's from Blink, and he's way back here in, what is that, shuttle thingy? Shuttle Bay? Shuttle Bay. Iron Fist running into Skull's Mule and taking him down. He's actually able to clear Carnage as well, so nice shooting there, and he's going to be able to scoot forward, and it looks like Blink will be showing up with a welder. So they may be able to go and actually cap Drone as well. Meanwhile, we're seeing Enzo up there. He was pressuring towards energy flow. They do have the Drifter there. I think maybe, given the health of that RT, it looks like the Drifter probably had been building that and got cleared. And we're seeing quite a few aliens here grouping up to try and clear out observation. Blink and Iron Fist split up. Iron Fist goes down. Razgul takes him down. 3 Skulks still alive. He does end up getting cleared. Just, he ran out of room to back up, and there were so many, you know, happily jumping targets to shoot at. It just wasn't going to end well. Seeing that they did cap over here in Hydra, so that'll be a nice 4th RT for them. If you take a quick look at the graph, you can see that they've only lost 2 RTs. But at this point, if they're able to hold on to it, then that'll be a good setup for them. Oh, that was a nice mine. That was a very nice mine, taking out 3 Skulks. Definitely worth the res there. Bam! Exactly. I'm not quite sure whether that one was on the wall or what, but it looks like okay. Looks like maybe Blink is finally gonna be able to go, and nope, he's gonna skip it. Okay, I guess that makes sense. That RT is down to 30%, so if he's able to go and just put enough bullets into that, that'll be pretty easy for him to clear out and, you know, hurt that alien res. But we're seeing lurks are up. We have Skogsmule and Razgul both up as lurks. Alright, you can see the observation harvester did go down. We're seeing the lurk entering into battle here. Both lurks entering into battle. Both of them slightly wounded. The Skulk got cleared. But they are going to be able to clear up Trademark, who was the last Marine standing right there. So Rascal's still a little bit chipped. He's gonna get the heck out. Stobies is still kind of just hanging out. They did get that RT partially built, which is part of the reason it isn't just, you know, being totally abandoned, and why Stobies is looking for the exact opportunity to be able to go through, but he ends up switching targets midway in there, which means that he didn't clear either of those. Rascal's pretty hurt though, and Iron Fist is still alive and kicking, and Rascal almost flies into Trademark. But it looks like Rascal's pretty much free to go at this point. There's no Marines on that side of the map, so he should be able to continue on and just, you know, go heal. So 4 RTs down of Gnarcolepsy's extractors. And Enzo clears a Skulk off of one of them, so that one will stay up a little while longer at least. You can hear some nice lovely chomping going on down here in Drone Bay, where the RT has finally been built after the power having gotten down there. That was definitely a screw up by whoever was building the power at the time. I mean, especially if they decided, hey, we're gonna go push Drone Bay instead. Stop building the power node then, guys. But I'm assuming it was just probably some combination of either 2 people building it or just not being able to time it correctly. Alright, semi-handy going after Iron Fist, who's actually split up from Trademark, which is not going to make it easy for them to be able to clear stuff, but they did take out Semi. However, both Lurks and a Skulk are over here in Plaza, and so, yeah, they'll be able to sort of cap over in Fabrication, except for there's this fact called there's a couple of holes. Both the Lurks are in the vent, they need to get Trademark into position, and they just need to kind of sit there at this point. They could clear out Carnage, who is the Skulk. Oh, he just got cleared, though. That is kind of a problem. They need to have somebody run over there ASAP, but it looks like that's what's going to happen. They have Blink running over that way. So they'll be able to hold at least one of the Lurks in the vent, possibly. Trademark's going to, looks like he's going to go down, though. Just between the spikes from the injured Lurk and the biting from the not injured Lurk, there, it's no problem. They clear out the harvest, or the blueprint there so they can drop the harvester. And Blink's just left for rebuilding. I mean, looking at the list again, they had a little bit more control there for a while, but it looks like at this point aliens are slowly, you know, crawling, you know, making that res graph creep upwards. Skogsmill just like gliding on in, spiking all the way. And just one Marine versus two Lurks, it's not going to end well for the Marine. Sure, that RT got rebuilt. And both the Lurks are pretty low on armor, but still, it's 1 and 1 and 1. And the pistol coming out on Trademark's pistol coming out, but however, he's not able to land the pistol bolts on the right Lurk. Obviously, if they'd hit Resgul, he'd be toast. Alright, so shotguns are done. Alright, weapons 1, armor 1. And obviously, with Lurks out, let's look at the res. They're at 33 res, so we're gonna see some fades showing up pretty soon. I actually built a comm chair here in Hydro.
Command station taking
damage. I obviously wasn't paying attention when that happened, but they're gonna potentially end up losing that because yeah, it looks like it's been recycled. So I guess they were a little bit afraid of a base rush potentially, and just wanted to get that built just in case. Semi-handy actually going Gorge in the hallway there. Too bad Enzo can't see that because that would be perfect. Though he had to have heard that egg hatch. Is he on top of the thing? Yeah, it looks like he was on top of the thing. Go, little Gorgie, run away. So they lost the drone by RT, but are going to recap. Seeing Izzo up here in Plaza along with the Lurks again. The Lurks seem to be pretty heavily on the north half of the map. Trademark's coming over there with a shotgun along with Enzo. So they clear out the Skulk, no problem, and then they're going to be able to just rush after those Lurks and see what happens. There's a weapon here to help slow down that, but I don't know. I don't think that's the greatest place for a whip, considering you can just stand over here by the tech point and just shoot at stuff. You're way out of whip range. I don't know if it's mature yet. Obviously, you can't check that in Spectate. But unless it's a mature whip, if it's totally mature and could do the bile bomb crud, then, well, it'll be a lot more annoying because they'd end up losing their armor. However, these guys do have a welder in that group there, so not too obnoxious. Metabolize is almost done at this point, so we see the fades up, or at least one of them. No, we see both fades. Izzo and Carnage up his fades. Alright, here they come. Izzo's actually getting pretty low already. I mean, he has metabolized, so the energy's not going to be much of a problem, really. But, just, it isn't the greatest part, and we're going to lose one Lurk. That'd be Resgul going down. Trying to get a bite on there while they're shooting at Skogsmill instead, but not enough. We see Gorge Tunnel has been set up to Hydra at this point too, so I'm assuming that's where they want to put their second hive. But at this point, if they lose another life form, that'd be bad when you really need those meds to show up here, because that spiking is doing a ton of damage to Trademark and Enzo's HP. You can see the looks like there's been a few things dropped there. Looks like just an RT. Trying to guess while not oh, wait a minute. See, there's a bunch of Skulks in the vent there. Okay, only a couple. We're seeing a lot of aliens over on this side of the map. A lot of mines in base though, so that's good. That'll delay them. It looks like Blink either heard that coming or what, or something, but either way, they're gonna... Let's see, the Obs is over here. Hydro Hive has been dropped, and they're gonna just melt that Obs. And the beacon does not go off. Simba jumps out. Mine goes off. Iron Fist's mine blows up Simba. And they're working on NIP. They're running back. You can see Trademark and Enzo running back from Plaza, and they're gonna go after the second IP. Or no, no, that's an arms lab. Sorry, I see a glowy thing, and I think it's the IP. The IP is down then. They just better make sure they don't overcommit on the space rush. I mean, yeah, sure, there are a couple of... Oh, Izzo's gonna go down, so they're one fade down, and all they need to do is land... Oh, just so close on being able to kill Carnage as well. Where's Sweetie Bot? Where's Sweetie? Where's he hiding? There he is. He just needs to land, like, one nice meat shot on Carnage, and they're gonna be out of life forms. But he's gonna end up going down? No! Fade down! All that's left is a lurk. Run, Sweetie, run. Nope. The same sort of thing. Just a really slow beacon there from Simba. I don't know why he took so long. But just... Yggdrasil is really just taking advantage of the fact that it doesn't seem like Gnarcolepsy's ready at all for when the aliens show up to try and, kill the base. I mean, that should have been pretty obvious, just from the fact that, you see that there's some on the... More than one on the obs. You see there's more than one on the obs. I mean, do a quick scan, maybe? I wish that I knew how much res they were at. But... They really needed that beacon to be earlier. So... 2 rounds for Yggdrasil at this point. Oh, okay. Alright, taking a quick look at chat there. Yeah, I feel like the okay, I do like the comment there, the where I guess was, I think, that mine taking out three skulks. Alright. Alright, I think one of the issues with Gnarcolepsy seems to be that they'd end up just running a lot of 1v1, 1v however many aliens, rampaging around the map. And they end up with, Marines getting caught out, where if they'd held back a little bit, they could have met up with their friend, or they end up out of line of sight because they went down some stairs or whatever. Okay, checking back. Okay, no beacon res. That's what happened then. What? But yeah. Okay, I'm having fun watching chat too while you guys reach the end of the map there. All right, so at least you guys caught that there was no res for that. I was just sitting there watching them, melt stuff, going, "Where's the beacon?" What is going on? What is going on? Is there some chaos going on? Alright, so we are ready to go here, so we're gonna get going into the final round. Final round here, Yggdrasil versus Narcolepsy Lite. Narcolepsy better make sure that they end up doing a good job here at clearing res and keeping their life forms alive if they want to end up 2-2ing this. I'm pretty sure that if it ends up anything other than a 2-2 at this point, they'll be kind of unhappy, but I'm pretty sure anybody would be unhappy if they end up getting, you know, losing more rounds than they win. I think that's just generally a thing. Unless you know that you're definitely one of the lower ranked teams. But at this point, Narcolepsy's in the top couple as far as games played so far. So they're definitely the favorites to win, and definitely they probably could have won those rounds that they lost if they hadn't been, you know, so far out of position, unable to get back to their base. If they'd had the beacon res, if, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, we're seeing mines again from Marines, so Yggdrasil not taking any chances with base rushes, and we're seeing Izzo and Blink having a bit of a standoff there. Blink can't re-engage that at all. He has way too low health. Inzo faring similarly over here in Shuttle Bay. And he's versus 2 Marines, so he's really going to get destroyed. Unless he really lands some nice bites. It looks like he's actually up on the little balcony thing. Oh, he doesn't make either of the parasites, though. Well, he only tried for one there, but he didn't get any of them. Looks like Trademark was sitting over there chomping on the RT, trying to bait them out. Oh, nice, like, clear them out with, like, the last 2 bullets of his gun there. Sweetie Bar and Trademark just getting completely destroyed. And Stovies and Skogsmill just saying, screw capping, we're gonna rush all the way up to Plaza. Now, this is a relatively Marine-friendly room, except for it's also really hard to fight in as a Marine as well. It's just an awkward room. It looks like Sweetbot's gonna go right after Stovies and take him down, and he's gonna get, he's actually gonna stay alive, but they're gonna clear out the Marines, and that poor RT, it's pretty well wrecked, but it's still alive and kicking for now. Alright, so Trademark and Carnage having the fight there. Trademark ends up winning. Actually, that's right. They did have that other... Thinking back to the last round, they did have that other CC. Maybe that could have been their beacon res if they hadn't had to hadn't have built that in the first place. So obviously recycling doesn't give you that much, and it looks like aliens are gonna clear out the Marines that are wandering in towards gravity so far. Mine goes in the vents, so that'll annoy Sweetie Bot, I'm sure. Trademark getting another kill on Carnage, but he's low enough health he can't take the next fight. I do find it interesting that they are going Crag Hive. I know that this is one that Narcolepsy, you know, they'd often play Shade Hive on. This is one of the maps that pretty much is good for Shade, if only partially because it is so big and so, like, not often played that you don't know as many of the corners of the map. I mean, if I made any predictions before this round had started, I would have guessed that they were going to go Shade Hive. I mean, I don't know. I find it odd. But, you know, obviously Crag works for pretty much any map. I mean, I don't think there's any map where Crag doesn't work, because really, it gives you armor. How could that not help you? Well, armor regen. Anyway, Inzo versus Izzo, or Izzo. Inzo, Izzo, whatever. Either way, Inzo wins. Raz and Carnage heading up towards Energy Flow, where there is the injured Harvester. Simpa's out of the hive. He's going to come over there and cleans out. He just destroys Carnage there. No problem at all. He's going to go after Razgul. He ends up getting cleared, but here comes Trademark from the other direction. That Harvester will live to fight, live to collect more res. But however, Observation Extractor will not. So they're doing a good job at keeping those, keeping the Marines on pretty low res. They are going for weapons one, or armor one finally. They did go for 2 IPs again. So, but this is a map where it's so freaking huge that, well, it even takes a long time to get to your natural. So having that second IP probably better on this map than it was on Tram. Tram, if you're far enough away to need that second IP at that early in the game, you're probably not going to be able to win anyway because you're too far away. You know, just destruction, doom. Alright, so 2 res, well 2.5 res versus 2 res. Gnarcolepsy will have their third RT built fairly soon. We see Sweetabot hiding in the vent, probably waiting for the Marines to go by so that he could go through and be obnoxious. Actually, looks like he's kind of heading towards base, so he might go after stuff and just to, you know, scout it out and see what's in there. Or he can sit in the vent forever, that also works. mean, he does have regen, so that is going to make, you know, a little bit of noise there. That, I mean, I assume that they assume that they know he's there. He's going to make it back into the vent there. Carnage not able to kill him, but he looks like he didn't really do any damage to Carnage anyway, except for maybe a parasite. Fight over in gravity. Skogsmule ends up taking out one of the skulks, but he ends up getting cleared by Blink. Blink down to like no HP. He's going to go hide behind a wall and try and regen. He does have regen, I think. Yes. So Raz will have to go and just recap, basically. We have Lurks up. We have Iron Fist up as Lurk. Where's the second Lurk? I'm assuming there'll be a second one, at least. Anyway, Stubby's and Izzo moving up forward towards sort of the club area. It looks like they're just going to go right after that RT again. It is a uninjured RT, so that's going to make it a lot harder for them to just be able to go and just clear it. Especially since it looks like there is a Marine coming from the north end. Maybe Simba? Yeah, that is Simba. He's going to just clear up. What was it? Stubbies. Now Simba gets to play Ring Around the Rosie with Izzo. I mean, they only got, you know, a few bullets into the RT there, and he's going to work together with Trademark to clear him out. Looks like they're going to only go one Lurk at this point. Carnage and Skogsmule moving into energy flow again. They do have the Crag in there, so that'll help keep that Harvester alive. But this time, instead of having the aliens winning that engagement, this time it's going to be the Marines who end up winning it. I don't know if they just end up like face planting into. Okay, Blink is now up as Lurk. He ends up just like chomping that guy. Okay, everything's alive now. This Crag will just do some work to heal that back up and then continue on to wherever the heck they feel like putting that. Because that seems like a really odd place for a Crag, so I'm assuming it's gonna take a very slow walk somewhere else. Stubby's heading around the corner there. The Drifter would have gotten some sight on, except for it died. It died too young. Blink was just like ground lurking there. That's probably what ended up costing him his life on the tram round, was he ended up trying to kill the guy by sitting on the ground after probably running out of energy. Alright, so Rezgul is over there working on Plaza again. There's been a lot of pressure put on these RTs, but they haven't really lost it. They've only lost the one. And it feels like they've repeatedly been in Plaza. Just over and over again. And we're seeing that it looks like possibly are working on down here. Oh, 2%. If they don't send somebody to, okay, it looks like they're gonna weld that. I was gonna say, if they don't either weld that or send somebody to kill it, that'll be very disappointing. Another 4 res before we get to fades. So far, they're keeping both Lurks up, so this should be okay. And having these two Marines on other sides of the wall, that should be a pretty easy clear as long as they don't get too greedy and end up, you know, with Lurks sitting on the ground in front of Marines that still have full clips of bullets. Alright, Skogsmule and Carnage working on Monorail. They've already cleared out the cyst there. So no matter what, this Harvester's dead. Even if they could have stopped shooting it like a billion years ago. Okay, not a billion years ago, but you know, like 20% or so, and it'd still be dead. I'm actually gonna drop a blueprint already. A little bit greedy there. Blink being really greedy, and he ends up going down. I don't know why he went into that engagement. That was really dumb of him. His fellow Lurk already left the room. Iron Fist was long gone. Yeah, he just like dove in on him, and he didn't get the kill either. Maybe if he got the kill, then he wouldn't have died, but he did not get that kill, and it didn't look anywhere close. Shotguns are up, of course. His weapons 1, armor 1, shotguns. No phase tech yet, so they don't have to worry quite as much about Marines accidentally setting up a base in their naturals. But that doesn't mean they aren't going to sit around in the naturals and be annoying. You can see Simba up there as a comm gorge, along with Blink just hiding around the wall, waiting for somebody to get too aggressive, which Skogsmule does, and he ends up going down, and they just like totally destroy them after that. Simba's going to head back to the hive and make sure that everything's nicely resisted. Stubby's just kind of hanging out. Dancing around in the club, you know, that kind of thing. Iron Fist gonna creep up on him. Perfect timing for Iron Fist to show up there. Oh, but he missed too many of the bites, so that awesome opportunity to attack while the Marine basically had used 90% of their bullets shooting at a cyst. Almost won it for him. But instead it drew out the engagement for longer. Anyway, there was a nice ambush set up right here in South Corridor, but it didn't quite go the way that they were hoping. Izzo's still alive and kicking. Okay, and we're gonna have a shot. Blank! What was that, Blank? He fell into the abyss. Like there was a skulk, and then suddenly the skulk was gone. Alright, so Scotsman and Waz over here over in Monorail. They're gonna try and cap that again, taking a look at the graph. 4 RTs down in 10 minutes. It isn't exactly that great, but looking at the graph, I mean, they've been sitting at about 3 RTs the whole time. So it's not exactly the worst to not have that, you know, 1 per minute thing, considering that it's been basically their base and their naturals. I mean, Alien Res has been keeping up the entire time, so Narcolepsy's in pretty much no problem as far as res goes. I mean, you want to keep, if you're aliens, you want to have roughly the same amount of res as the Marines. You could even do with a RT less, depending on how many RTs are actually in current use. If you can, you know, if they have 3 and you have 3, you're in the better position, because, you know, you don't need, it just, you don't need to worry about constantly supplying med packs and all that. Yeah, sure, you have to worry about bone walls, and your players have to get life forms. Both the Fades going in here, they might have, oh, Inzo getting kind of low there. Trademark just low on energy. Blink's gonna come in there, and obviously Resgul and Skogsmule split up by the wall there. There seems to be a lot of that going on today, where players that had been hanging out together end up split by a wall. Izzo does end up taking out both Skulks that came to try and kill him. That RT is pretty much, is built, but he used a little bit of the damage done to it to weld up. Iron Fist is without armor, so you better be careful there. I mean, there is a shotgun and an LMG, so that's a great combination to have. You can have the LMG focus the lurks, who are spiking from really far away. You can have the Fades being able to take more than one hit. LMG guy has been totally wiped, though. Inzo gets really low, but he's still kicking this time. So, looks like second hive, yep, there goes the second hive, speaking of which, is going to be over here in what is it, launch control. With Simba having plenty of res there to be a comm gorge, that's going to go up fairly quickly. I mean, you have the drifter there, or will have the drifter there. It is kind of just building something else right now, it looks like. Izzo getting swarmed. What's the drifter doing? Drifter? Drifter. It's just sitting there. Somebody get in the hive and move the drifter. Well, that would build faster if, you know, somebody would get in the hive and move the drifter. Alright, so we're seeing 2 shotgunners versus 2 lurks. Looks like Blink did re-lurk. 2 shotgunners. Carnage taking a lot of chip damage there. Trademark moves in. 1 shotgunner down. Inzo now next in, takes out Carnage. And that just, I think that they were possibly too close to the door there. Like, if they'd stayed at the top of the platform, both of them, it might have ended better just because, well, they have that much more distance. They can't be sniped by the lurk through the doors as well. Stubby's getting cleared over there in Hydro. That RT is doomed. Farewell, Harvester. Eyes on Rascal over here in, what is it, Energy Flow again. And they're just doing an okay job at, obviously doing a good job at keeping a hold of those RTs this time. I mean, that little dip there was from the one in Hydro. But they've consistently, I mean, looking at the resources, I mean, they've kept up. I mean, generally, if you're looking at this graph, I mean, it's okay if, like, the aliens have something that looks more like that. Or even like that. But when the aliens have more res than the Marines, you are in a bad place. And let me hit the right button here. Fight over here in Gravity. Blink getting a little bit low, but not too bad. I mean, there is the LMG. Blink! I was just saying it wasn't too bad. He just seems to be sticking around way too long in engagements and taking ones that he shouldn't be taking. I mean, when he has that low of energy, I mean, as soon as he sees the Marine start shooting at him, he shouldn't still be sitting there spiking. He should be going like, oh god, and then diving out of the way, or even just going, hey, I have no armor now. Let me, not be here. I mean, especially since that was a re-lurk. That wasn't like his first lurk and now he has plenty of res to do whatever. That was his second lurk, so that's another, you know, 20 res that he can't save for Onos. So he's, I mean, Iron Fist, he's still alive. If, Enzo hadn't have relurked? Okay. Or Blink hadn't have relurked, sorry. If Blink hadn't have relurked, he would have been sitting at 33 res, so they would have been able to have 2 Onos, in case something happens to Sweetie, who I'm assuming will be an Onos. Hey, why isn't he an Onos? What's going on here? I just noticed he's at 60 res, 61 res. Sweetie bot, what are you doing? Onos is 55 res. Why aren't you an Onos yet? I mean, looking at the map, or the map so far, I mean, you can see they have a good chunk of the map cordoned off. Alright. And just, Yggdrasil just can't hold on to the RTs. They'll get them for a while. Yeah, they're just gonna GG at this point. So SweetieBot doesn't even get to be an Onos. Because for whatever reason, he didn't go Onos at 55 res. Alright, so it is going to be a 2-2. Or, yes, 2-2. All Alien wins, because I think that Yggdrasil definitely did look like they were the weaker team in this case. Looking at the records, I think that also could be seen as, true. But just all of the issues that Gnarcolepsy were having seem to pretty much just be them overextending either with res or with people or with both. With that one the descent round, they didn't have enough for the beacon, and just so much for that. I'm sure they're glad at this point to have this match over with, just because it seemed like this game. I mean, it's a week 4 match. It's a week 4 match, so they are probably happy to finally have it out of the way. I mean, they're up. I don't know. I don't know how many matches each one of these teams has. I think they each at least have one more match before it would be like semifinals and that sort of thing. Anyway, so that'll be it for today. There is another match tomorrow. It's 8 p.m. Pacific. That'll be Overextension versus Singularity. I'll be casting that one. There's one more match that's sort of set up for Sunday also. I don't know who's going to be casting that one. It doesn't have anybody signed up yet. So if you're a caster, there's a match for you to sign up for. There haven't actually been that many matches set up for this weekend yet. Of course, you can always go and, of course, for those of you on teams who still have matches that need to be played, please go to nsl.org and, sign up and have your team leaders or whatever sign up for matches so that way they could actually get played. If you just are looking for matches to watch, it's underneath my stream, there's the whole thing there with a whole bunch of links. There's like the NSL website, there's the NSL Steam group, the Twitter, other stuff related to comp mods, and all kinds of links there. Well, you can always sign up if you're looking for announcements for when the matches actually start. You can either check ensl.org and log in so it's in your proper time zone. You can join the Steam group, which will send out announcements when the matches are starting. Or you could always join the Twitter, or follow the Twitter, which also sends out announcements for when matches are starting. So basically, there's a lot of ways for you guys to be able to keep up and make sure that you're seeing as many matches as you want to see. And other than that, I will see you guys later, and, make sure to sign up for your matches, and have a good day. Thanks for watching.